Welcome to all your cricket. Guys, we are back with an update today. The Super 8s have kicked off. What a way to kick off the Super 8s. Actually, the Super 8s kicked off yesterday with a dud. There was an abandoned game between New Zealand and Pakistan. A lot of people were looking forward to those games. Unfortunately, we couldn't have those games. So it started off with an abandoned game, but then today, this morning, we had the real games kick the Super 8s off. Fantastic games this morning. The first game, England versus Sri Lanka. England struggled to 146. It looked like at halftime that Sri Lanka was going to win this game. Phil Salt had an amazing 62, but the rest of the batting struggled. Guess what? Sri Lanka couldn't even get to 146. They were all out, skittled under 100, and New Zealand and England won the first game of the Super 8. So England in very good shape, Sri Lanka in trouble. This group of England, Sri Lanka, New Zealand, Pakistan is now very nicely poised to be one of the groups which is going to be very competitive. The reason being is the first abandoned game, and now we don't know if more games are going to be abandoned or not. But once again, I think this is going to be a very exciting group. It is going to come down to points and run rate, and I think once again England in the lead, and then Pakistan and New Zealand probably fighting for that second spot. The games between England and Pakistan and New Zealand and England are now of utmost importance. And obviously, Sri Lanka can still beat both Pakistan and and New Zealand, but they will have to catch up. The second group, once again, that is a group that I thought was going to be the group of death because of Australia. But when Zimbabwe threw Australia out of the tournament, once again, that opened that group up too. But obviously, we're not discounting Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe also beat Sri Lanka and Australia and went undefeated into this next round. So today's game, South Africa versus India, was of utmost important. I think this was the most important game of the tournament, and especially for India, this was a very important game. They were playing at home in Ahmedabad in front of a full crowd, a sold out crowd. The expectation was that India was going to do very well. They started off with a bang. South Africa, after batting first, lost 3 wickets very quickly for 20 runs. David Miller steps in, Bravis steps in, gets them to a respectable total of 187. But on a small ground, nobody was expecting South Africa to basically, defend this total. India comes into bat. The crowd is juiced up. The crowd is screaming out of their lungs. They're ready to play. And guess what happens? South Africa basically strikes again and again and again. India has a great batting lineup, so even when India loses a few wickets, it always looks like India is always in the game. But this time round, it was not to be, and India was bundled out for 111. The only significant contribution was Shivan Dubey at the end, scoring 42 of 37. He was trying to farm the strike, trying to get as close as possible. But now India is in real trouble after losing this game, because not only did they lose this game, they lost this game badly by almost 76 runs. So their net RR in the Super 8s is going to be behind the 8 ball. Their next 2 games against Zimbabwe and West Indies are must wins. They can't lose those games. Even if they lose those games, they have to win, sorry, they can't lose those games, that's for sure. But even if they win, they have to win big, because guess what? Their NRR might kind of come into play, especially if West Indies and Zimbabwe are a factor. And I'm pretty sure West Indies and Zimbabwe are going to be factors in this game. So bottom line is this: a tremendous start to the Super 8s. Yesterday, obviously, as I said, we were disappointed with the rain affecting the Pakistan New Zealand game, but this morning's games, England Sri Lanka, I think England Sri Lanka is also an upset. I think South Africa India, even though it's not an upset, it's an upset because of the way India lost. India lost badly. So now going forward, we have to see how things move. Once again, 3 games of the Super 8s are in. We have a lot of important games to go, but the table is starting to get set up. Tomorrow morning, we have West Indies, Zimbabwe. That's going to be a big game. Let's see who wins that game. West Indies goes in favorites, but as I said, anybody who can win these games, and that's what's been happening. I think that if you would have asked me before the games began today, I had Sri Lanka beating England, the opposite happened. I had India beating South Africa, the opposite happened. I do have West Indies beating Zimbabwe, but you never know. The opposite can happen again. So let's see. Tomorrow morning, we're going to have another update after the West Indies Zimbabwe game. But very, very exciting times at the World Cup. Let's look forward to the next few days, and then we will have a lot of results in cricket. Obviously, fans around the world, please share and subscribe and watch these videos and these clips. We will be back with you tomorrow after the game.